Hi! So I haven't made a YouTube. Gosh, I'm not starting over. I haven't made a YouTube in a while other than my update on Keelar, my dwarf Central American boa. And I realized that I never made any videos about one of my favorite hobbies recently, which is crocheting. I picked it up again last year after not crocheting for about 15 years. And I just decided, you know what, it's a good wintertime, cold season, dark season kind of hobby to do, and I can make useful things. So the very first thing I started making was actually, I was just trying to learn how to crochet in the round because I wanted to make these cute little like snoods and hoods and different things. So I actually made myself this snake, it's supposed to be a snake, scarf with a few different green colors. Pretty long, and I usually, when I wear it, I double it up, wrap it around like this. One end goes under, one end goes over, and I got my little snake scarf. This one is, I believe, alpaca, and I don't know how long it took me because I didn't track my time with this one, but I was quite proud of it. And honestly, I might eventually frog this and use the yarn for something else now that I have more skill, like a higher skill level. It's a really nice yarn, and I would hate to like just have it be this. I don't know. But then again, it's kind of fun keeping your derpy, ridiculous things that you crocheted at the beginning, you know? So I feel a little, don't know what I want to do with that. That same year, I also made a hat. So it's the same yarn. And I used to have a bit of hair, so my hair would go inside this little bit on the top. But this one I really do want to frog and remake a hat because I can do better now. I typically have to fold up the front, but I like the back to be on my neck. So it's very soft, keeps me warm. If you can't tell, I have a favorite color. So there's that one. And then this year, oh no, I still have some from last year. One of the things from last year I actually finished this year. It's actually in my car. So I probably won't go get that, but I might insert a clip at some point in this video. So then I really wanted to make a shawl, a capelet, a shawl, something. So I actually used 6 skeins of off the yak yarn from actually off of Amazon to make this lovely shawl. And I actually washed it and blocked it for the first time this year. I just don't block my work. But this is what I do. Just throw it over my head. And I really notice a difference, actually, how warm I am when I'm wearing it. The area that it covers is very warm. And I find as long as my neck, shoulders, chest, and back are covered, that helps me keep in a lot better warmth. So I really like it. It's supposed to be like a maroon color, but it's almost like a more brown and gray than on the red side. Anyway, and I will not frog this one. It's my favorite thing. Now, because it's yak and, sheep's wool, it does start getting a smell to it, I noticed. It started smelling kind of like a barnyard. Not as strong now. But wool has a very distinct smell. And I washed it. Okay, if you're gonna wash your wools and you don't want to have to buy expensive soaks for it, this is what I did off of somebody else's tip. Is you fill a basin, a sink, a bucket, whatever, with lukewarm to cold water. Not freezing cold, but tepid water. Don't put this in the bucket before you're gonna wash it, okay? The bucket is empty. You put the tepid water in. I did like half of a bucket, whatever, because I wanted it to be able to submerge. And then I put probably about 2 or 3 tablespoons of white vinegar. God, I can't talk. And I actually did a splash, like 1 capful of Solumel, which is from Melaleuca, which is a private company. You have to be a member to get their stuff. And my parents used to sell it when I was a kid, and so we still get it. It's great. It's what I grew up on. Anyway, so I soaked it in that for about half an hour, 45 minutes, and then I gently drained the water, gently squeeze out the water. Don't wring it, just squeeze. You're not going to get everything out. And then I filled up the basin again with more tepid water, but no more cleaner, and let it sit in that for another, I actually kneaded it, kind of like a cat. I kind of did some biscuit making in the water with it to rinse it out for a good 3 to 5 minutes. And then when I felt like I really got everything out, I just drained it again and did some more kneading to squeeze out that water, and then I laid it flat. And it did take 3 days for this one to dry, 2.5, 3, somewhere in there. So that was annoying, but that's how you wash your wool. Now, for this year, I have really gotten a little crazy. Go over there for now. I made myself, I got into this yarn. I don't think I have a skein of it. It's Divina or Divinia or something like that, Divina, from Hobby, HOBBII.com. I'll put the link in the description below. But these gloves, I made these wrist warmers. They're very simple. They're just a like kind of a rectangle, kind of square deal. And I made little mushrooms. This actually has a little bundle of 2, and this has 1. And I didn't sew it all the way down because I kind of like fiddling with that. But these ones are alpaca, baby alpaca. And per skein, when they're not on sale, they're like $16 a skein, which is kind of high. But everyone has been loving these so much. So I actually made a duplicate pair for a friend at work, because we have very similar aesthetics. And then these are, I'm in the makings of actually making my first commission, which is amazing. I don't even want to say commission. I mean, she's just gonna pay me for a pair, which I don't sell this stuff typically. Again, it's not a business for me in any way. But so I'm waiting for more yarn though for these, because she wants a different color mushroom for hers, and I think I may have figured out a way to freehand little 3D mushroom ledges. So I'm gonna play around with that. That'll be really fun. And I did freehand these. This particular pair is 30 chain 30, and then 32 Tunisian crochet, simple Tunisian, and I don't remember. It's not the purl stitch. It's another stitch. I call it the through. So you go through the loops instead of across the front. And it actually, if you turn it inside out, I have them turned inside in for now, but it gives it this ribbed look. So I do 3 of those stitches, and then I do a single Tunisian, and then I do 4, and then a single, and then 3, and then I just loop round and round and round. And it turns out really nice. I like them having the flat side out, especially if I'm going to put little details on, and I want to showcase those details. And it actually provides more warmth for your hand, for your wrist, to have those little, it kind of creates little pockets for all that warm air to be. I figured that out with mine. If I don't put anything on the outside of them, they can be reversible. So that's cool too. Now, one thing I am extremely proud of, I should mention, those gloves take about 7.5 to 8 hours for me to make. Now, I had this vision that I wanted to have a shrug, a cute little summertime shawl deal that I could wear with one of my outfits, and it just was a little plain. It needed a little detail. So I made this cherry willow shrug, weeping cherry willow, and I freehanded all of this. The one thing I kind of looked up a tutorial on, where are you? I think not that one. I guess this one. I looked at like a fern leaf tutorial, and because I thought, ooh, it might be fun to add fern leaves, but then I realized if I just altered it a little bit, it could be a really great willow leaf. So that's what these more frondsy looking ones are. Sorry if you hear people walking around upstairs. They must have come home. I have renters above me. And then the cherry blossoms, I actually did just freehand myself. I just figured it out. So this whole thing took about 40 hours, 36 to 45, somewhere in there. So I just say an average of 40 hours. Guess I could throw it on for you. Let me see what it looks like. It doesn't go with this outfit, that's what I'm like. So it's just not gonna lay how it's supposed to, but it's just so charming and enthralling, and very enchanting, and I love it. So I actually decided I'm gonna make another one in lilac, like weeping lilacs, to go with. I have the same outfit but in black, so this is for an outfit in brown, so it's very earthy, and the other one's going to be in black, and so it'll be kind of black and purple, gothic kind of look. But yeah, and I'm also working on a sunflower gloves and scarf set. There's a lot of things I want to make. I had to wait on yarn for this. I had to wait on the money for yarn. I want to make a huge, like, mandala jacket or vest kind of deal, all in rainbow. And the yarn I want to use for that is hand dyed and very expensive. So I gotta wait on that. But yeah, it's become a bit of an addiction, really, but it's a useful one. So, and I decided next year's presents for all my family are going to be handmade. So I ordered yarn to prepare for that. So that's, yeah. But I just like all the stuff I'm making. So yeah, I might do a video eventually of actually like how I make this or how I make that, whatever. Post like a pattern or something, I don't know. But I'm mostly freehand, basically I taught myself from YouTube videos, thank you YouTube, and everybody who makes videos on here. I taught myself a lot of different stitches. Actually, that's what this shawl was learning a bunch of different stitches of scallop stitches and different posts, front post, back post, etc. And that's kind of what I fool around with. I also, I should get that out. Hang on, I'll be right back. I have a whole, desk with shelving. So this box is full of squares that I've been making, learning all sorts of different granny squares, stitches. Here's a Tunisian simple stitch, and all sorts of different colors, what have you. So I'm working on making a scrap. Oh, these are joined together. A scrap blanket, kind of, what do you call that? Patchwork kind of blanket. I've actually started that last year as well, and I've continued it this year. We'll see how far I get. But it's a great way to practice if you want to get into crochet or really any craft. But I'd say with crochet in particular, it's really great to just make a whole bunch of different little squares and then join them together, because one, you don't get overwhelmed by this huge project you got to make, you know. So you can even make washcloths, you know. I made a washcloth and hand towel matching set out of some cotton yarn recently. That's in my kitchen. And then things like these gloves are really easy. It's just a square that you stitch together. You leave a hole for the thumb and stitch around it. And you got yourself a pair of hand warming gloves. I call them gloves. They don't have a thumb bit or finger bit, but I prefer that myself. I actually would like a little additional loop on the thumb area, but too lazy. So that's where we're at. Yeah, thanks for watching my little update here about my crochet hobby, and I will hopefully post a few more videos about it. Might start a whole little playlist here, because I like to stay organized. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you around when I make another video. Have a good one. And I am posting this around the holidays, so happy holidays, whatever you celebrate.